read-along link for the historical context reading about communism and the Cold War for Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. After World War II, the United States and the Soviet Union competed with each other for international influence and allies in the Cold War. Both countries attempted to gain international power by influencing other governments in their favor, often with military or economic aid. The Cold War was characterized by mutual distrust, suspicion, and misunderstandings between the two sides. These conditions led to occasional confrontations. For example, both the United States and the Soviet Union supplied military aid to opposing forces in the Korean War. Another confrontation came in 1962 when the United States learned that the Soviet Union had secretly installed missile stations in Cuba that could launch nuclear attacks on U.S. cities. After a week of extreme international tension, the Soviet Union agreed to United States demands and removed the missiles. Alarmed by communist expansion in Eastern Europe and in China, the United States and its allies began giving military and economic aid to non-communist countries. They also pledged to help nations threatened by communist takeovers. In 1949, Western nations formed the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO. This alliance provided its members with mutual defense against a possible attack by the Soviet Union or any other aggressor. This is going to be in your questions. Hint. In 1955, the Soviet Union and its Eastern allies signed the Warsaw Pact, a treaty to provide for their common defense. The signers claimed they drew up the pact in response to the creation of NATO. Each side invested in a massive arms race, a competition to acquire nuclear weapons and other arms. In the 1950s, fear of communism in the United States led to widespread accusations and investigations of suspected communist activities. This pursuit of communists came to be called as McCarthyism, after Senator Joseph R. McCarthy, a Wisconsin Republican. McCarthy charged that many individuals were communists or communist sympathizers, usually with little evidence to support his charges. Nevertheless, many people lost their jobs or suffered in other ways after being labeled a communist.